guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm in my bathroom and as you can see, you can just see my sink, not my face, but you can hear my voice. We are going to be doing a brush cleaning video. So I've got two piles of brushes here. These are my own personal brushes and I am going to show you how I clean them. So all of the brushes here have only been used once. I'm really anal about cleaning my brushes, just because I know that bacteria can harbour in brushes and you know, it just spreads on your face, and skincare is big for me, so if I'm putting dirty brushes on a clean face, it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So I usually use my brushes maybe twice and then I do a deep clean. If I need to use a foundation brush or something like that and in between I haven't got a clean one, I will use a spot cleaner to clean them. So basically what I use is Sard Wonder Soap. So this is the Eucalyptus one. You can also buy the normal one as well. I do prefer the normal one, but sometimes at my Coles or my Woolworths all I can get is the Eucalyptus one. So you can see the difference. The Eucalyptus one is a little bit more browny sort of coloured than the normal one, which is white. And I also have a cleaning brush, a cleaning glove as well. I don't actually put my hand into the glove, I just lay it in the bottom and clean my brushes on it. You can get all different types of cleaning gloves. You can get little mini ones that can sit in your hand. You can find them in heaps of places, just need to do a search on eBay. So you can see here, they actually must have changed the Eucalyptus ones and made them not so natural looking. So I just pop it into a soap dish holder just so that it can hold the stuff in it. So hopefully you can see everything there. So I'm going to grab some brushes. I normally always start with my eye brushes just because they're the quickest and the easiest to do. What I do is I run a bit of water just over my brushes. I try to keep the water out of the ferrule just so that otherwise it can come loose and then you can lose all your brush hairs. Make sure I'm staying in focus. So basically then I put a bit of water on my glove and rinse it off. And I just go into the soap and just run the brush through the soap so that the brush is covered in soap. And then I just go into, I'm gonna have to pull this up a bit, into my mat. And then I just basically run it over there, and then you can see that the products all come out. So I'll do that. Okay, so I'm just going to go in and wash the rest of my brushes. So I might fast forward through some of the smaller brushes and I might slow down on some of the bigger brushes that are a little bit more dirty so that you can see what I do, and also with a big sponge as well. So this particular brush here has had cream contour and cream highlighter in it, so it's a little bit more dirty, so it might take a couple of goes on the soap. But usually I find most synthetic brushes that the product comes out of them pretty good. So this one's just not quite clean enough, so I'm actually going to just rinse off the soap and get right in there. And we're nice and clean. I do find that any of those duo fibre type brushes do take a little bit more to get any product out of the white bit, so I do tend to brush them around the soap a little bit more. But in saying that, I do, as I had said at the beginning of the video, I do not use my brushes like repeatedly when I've like days and days and days on end, so it doesn't take me too much to clean them because there isn't a lot of built up product in there. Okay, so this is a brush that I've had some foundation on, so I'm actually going to wet it really, really well, and then put some soap onto it, give it a bit of a run under the water again, back into the soap, and then onto my cleaning pad. Now, if you've got a lot of built up foundation in your brush, you're going to probably want to do this more than twice. But usually you can see if there's foundation still in it. When you're pushing out the last of the water, you'll be able to see it's stained in there. So because foundation brushes are pretty dense, you want to make sure that you get all of that soap out of the brush. And we're nice and clean. Look at that, beautiful. Righto, so the last thing I've got to do is a sponge. So sponges do tend to get stained pretty damn easily, and I don't use my mitt for this at all. I just use my hand and the actual soap. So I take off my rings first as well, especially on these fingers, because I tend to squeeze it out and I don't want my rings to get in the way. So I wet the brush, I wet the sponge really thoroughly first, and then run the sponge all over the soap. Okay, and then you want to squeeze. See how I'm just sort of squeezing the product out, and you can see it's running out coloured. Now this is actually stained here from when I left some foundation in it for too long, which will happen if you've got sponges and you leave them for too long. They will stain. Some will stain worse than others. I do find that these Chi ones do stain a lot worse, and that the stains don't come out. I find that the Beauty Blender and the Model Rock Base Maker are probably the best for sponges that don't stain. So I usually do this a couple of times just to make sure that there's no excess product in there. And just try not to be too rough with it. Try to just be firm with getting the product out. So you can see that the water that's coming out there is just soapy water. There's no more staining from foundation. Now you can see I've got a bit of a stain here, so I'm going to try and really get that out. Right, so we are done with our sponge. So what I do is I just run the water into my glove, and then I go and hang it on the line so that it dries out completely. I run the water through my soap to make sure that anything excess dirt and stuff is all out of there, and I leave it to dry open so that no mold or anything gets in there. Okay, so this is basically what you're going to be left with, a whole heap of nice clean brushes. So what I do is I put them, as I've cleaned them, I put them onto a nice clean towel, and what I'll do is I will lay them all flat with the edges hanging over, just so that the water can dry. and the air can get into them and they can all dry really well. And then I just pop my sponge there. Now, the cleaning is done, but we still do need to disinfect them and put some antibacterial onto them. So what I use for this is Isocol. So this is a rubbing alcohol antiseptic. So what I do is I depot this into a spray bottle. So this is just an old brush cleaner bottle. And I just liberally spray my brushes. Make sure the room is ventilated so that air can get into your brushes and they can dry really well. Sometimes if it's winter, I'll put the fan on in the room so that they help dry a little bit quicker. So while they're drying flat, I do tend to pull the brush hairs down into the right direction so that they are drying in the right way and not a bit haphazard like this one is. So pull it all down nice and straight and just let them dry. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I hope it's encouraged you to keep your brushes nice and clean for the cleanliness or hygiene side of things. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.